Next, I'll show you how to pass structures to functions. This can be really useful. Here again is the program we wrote earlier. We declared the structure student with components first name, last name, birth year, and average grade, and then we instantiated two instances of this structure type. So there's a student me and a student you with some initializations, and then we just simply print out the information for me. And if I wanted to print out the information for the second student, I would have to repeat these 3 lines. That can get pretty annoying. So ideally, we could put these 3 lines into a function. And so let's try to do that. So we'll take them out of here, and we will simply call a function here that does the printing for us. So in other words, we'll just call the function. Let's call it print student. And we pass to it, student. We pass to it the student me. And then we'll call it again to print the second student, which we called you in this example. So all we have to do now is write this function print student. The function doesn't return anything, so the data type is void, print student, and it receives as an argument a student record. So that's the type struct student. And down here, let's just call it stud as in student. And I'm going to copy and paste in the 3 lines that I just erased up top, the print lines, but we need to adjust the variable name. The variable name, instead of being me, which was the case in our program up top, is now stud as in student. So I want to print the student's first name and the student's last name, the student's birth year, and the student's average grade. And now we have written a print function that prints no matter what student gets passed into this function, that student's particular record. And we can call this function multiple times, once with the student me, once with the student you, or even more times than that. All that's left to do is our prototype. To get a prototype, I simply copy and paste this line to the top. I need to do it below my structure definition with a semicolon in the end, because the structure, I misspelled the word structure here. The structure needs to be known already in order to declare this variable student here. And I need to fix my typo down there. All right, compile. Let's run this code. The student me is declared, the student you is declared. And so in the memory visualization, we have a lot of space being taken up by the 2 students, me and you. And there it is. And then the function print student is called. When the function print student is called, a new variable appears by the name of stud. And that student, stud, has an average grade, a birth year, a last name, and a first name. It's a structure. And the information that used to be in the student me has been copied into this variable because we are in a function. And the variable me was passed to this function by value, meaning a copy of all the values stored in me was made and is now stored in the variable stud. And the function then accesses only that variable stud. So it prints now the student's first name and last name, the year of birth, and the average grade. The function terminates, and next print student is called again, but this time with a variable u. So print student is entered again, but this time the information that's stored in u, which is Remy Chirac, is copied into the variable student. So, and then again, we print the name, the birth year, and the average grade, and the function terminates. So that's how we pass a structure to a function by value. A copy of everything that's stored in the structure is made and made available inside the function. We will also learn how to pass structures to function by reference, which of course is going to be important if we wanted to modify structures, but it is also important for structures that store a lot of information. Rather than making copies of all of the information stored in a structure, it might be more efficient to simply pass a pointer to the structure to a function, despite the fact that we may not want to modify the function at all. So we'll learn that next.